My next would just be Gundam. I think there's a big gap between like there's not a lot of like war movies that have come out in a while, and I think Gundam would fit really well because it is like it is a big war romance sort of story. I mean, I say this and I haven't finished a single Gundam. I started watching the compilation one for Netflix, which is decent, but it gets really boring towards later. But I've always liked the idea and like the style and the design for Gundam, and I think there are so many different iterations of Gundam that you can it gives you more free range. Like the thing that allows studios to do comic book movies really easily is that comic books are very mutable, because there are so many different iterations of comics that, like, if you create a different version, it's easy to be accepted because like everyone's like, oh, this is just another one of those iterations that I've like come to like look forward to. Whereas if you do a synopsis movie of like Bleach or One Piece, or I keep wanting to bring this back, or Avatar: The Last Airbender, it's like this is just a recap and a really bad one, and they made changes that I didn't even like.
Yeah. 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 Well, yeah, and like I've watched it's been a while, but I watched all of Gundam Seed. I know someone, if they out of our two viewers, I know one of them is like, how dare he just watch Gundam Seed? It's terrible or something like that. I know there's like, I'm guessing there's a hierarchy when it comes to the Gundams and like which one's good and which one's not. But I watched all of Gundam Seed, and I think that's very true. I think they really good at, like, a lot of Gundams are really good at like tackling this idea of like, hey, you know, there's a lot of things that go into like war and conflicts. I think another one that like kind of falls in that one that I always found super interesting is there's this one called Broken Blade, and like the whole conflict of this anime is just like, it is literally a misunderstanding, right? This one misunderstanding leads to another misunderstanding, and then it leads to a whole war or whatever. And it's kind of interesting that like that happens.
Okay. Yeah. What was your next one?